Hi, I am Reshma. So in the previous video we discussed the data types available in Python. So in this video we are going to discuss the mutable and immutable data types in Python, dynamic typing and type conversion. So the chapter notes are available in the Google Drive. So the Google Drive link is mentioned in the description box. Please click on the link and access the notes. So before we start, if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and share the videos. So let's begin. Mutable and immutable data types. That is, the data types in Python are divided as mutable and immutable. The data types integer, float, complex, boolean, strings and tuples are immutable data types, and list, sets and dictionary are mutable data types. So let's see in detail what are immutable and mutable data types. This is very important. This topic is very important. Most of the time you will get a question, what are the differences between mutable and immutable data types in Python. So let's start with immutable data type. So the variables whose values cannot be changed after they are created or assigned are known as immutable data type. That is, we create a variable by assigning a value like x is equal to 10 or x is equal to coding, like that we write the variables, right? So that time it is created. So the data items or the variables whose value cannot be changed after assigning a value or after creating the variable are known as immutable data types. So let's see in detail how this immutable data types are working and how it works in the memory. So let's see an example. Now you know how to assign a value to a variable. For example, like x is equal to 10 you can write. Same way you can write y is equal to 20 you can write. Then you can write x is equal to y, right? So here you can see you are assigning a value 10 to x, assigning 20 to y. 10 and 20 are integer values, so x and y are integers. After that I am writing x is equal to y, that is the value of y I am assigning to x. That is the value of y is 20, so now x is 20. So I told you in Python, integer is an immutable data type. That is, once it is created or assigned, then its value cannot be changed. But here I am writing x is equal to 10. After that I am writing x is equal to y. So you will get a confusion. See, I told you this one, but this is possible in Python. But let's see how it is working in the memory. So x is equal to 10, we have the statement x is equal to 10. So that time we have a value 10 in the memory, and this 10 is the value and this 10 has a memory address. For example, if I am giving 2000 is the memory address. You see, in Python if you use id function, then you will get the memory address of that particular variable or the value you will get. 2000 is a random number. For example, I have taken. So suppose 10 is stored in the location 2000. So whenever we assign like x is equal to 10, then an object is created here. See, in Python, everything is considered as an object. Python is an object-oriented programming language, so everything is considered as an object. So here, 10, when we assign 10 to x, so that time an object is created at the location 2000 and that is referenced by the variable x. So here it is pointing to here. That is, x is pointing to the location 2000 where the value 10 is stored. Unlike other languages, in other languages the variables are like a storage container. That is, there is a storage container x with some memory address, and to that memory address we are assigning the value. That is the case with other programming languages. But in Python, the variables are working as reference variables. That is, the values are stored in some memory address and that memory address is referenced by the variable x. So here x is pointing to the location 2000 where 10 is stored. So same way if you write y equal to 20 means there is a memory location with value 20. So for example, I am taking the memory location as 3000. The address of 20 is 3000 and this y is pointing to this particular location. Here if you check ID of y, the address of 20 you will get. It's not address of y, 20's address you will get. Okay. So I have written x is equal to y. X is equal to y. That means y is already pointing to the location 3000 where 20 is stored. Now x is equal to y means x is also a reference variable to the value 20. That means now x and y are pointing to the same location 3000 where 20 is stored. Okay. So before we have x is pointing to the location 2000. So now how it works? The value in the location 2000 is referenced by the variable x. So when you are writing x is equal to y, this x is destroyed there. The variable x is destroyed there and rebuilt inside the memory with the same name. Rebuilt inside the memory with the same name. That is, here the connection is lost. Connection to 10 is lost and it is now referencing to the location 3000. This is actually x is a new variable, not the previous one. It is automatically done in the memory. It is not visible. That's why we are feeling x is rewritten. It is actually x is not rewritten. X is assigned with the value 10 first. After that it is destroyed when we have written x is equal to y. And a new reference variable x is created in the memory or rebuilt in the memory. So x is now pointing to the location 3000 where 20 is stored. X and y are the reference variable for 20. So this is same with int, float, then we have bool, complex and strings and tuples. For string, tuples and all it is visible. Let's see an example. For example, if we write ch is equal to, I am writing coding, and we studied for a string there is indexing. For a string indexing is there. That is we have coding. So C O D I N and one more G is there, and C is in the location 0, O is in 1, then D in 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that we have indexing. If you print ch of 2, if you print this one, then you will get the answer D. It will be printing the value D because in the second location we have D. Then if you are writing like ch of 2 equal to, like I am changing it as the letter X. Okay, instead of D I want X. Now if you run the program, it will show an error because here the value cannot be changed. It is an immutable data type. So the index position 2 has the value D that cannot be changed. So that is the case with string. Same way it happens with tuple also. So that is immutable data type. That is, once if it is created, the variables are created by assigning a value, then it cannot be changed. So that is immutable data type. And if you want to find out the memory address of a particular variable or the variable which is pointing to a memory location where the value is stored, then you can use the function id. Id is to find out the memory address of a value. So that is immutable data type. Now we have mutable data type. That is the variable whose value can be changed after creation. So that is our mutable. That is for string I showed you an example, that is you cannot change the value, that is a letter or something. If you want to change, that is not possible because once it is created, it is final, it cannot be changed. But for mutable, you can change the value. In the same memory address, you can assign new values. That is mutable data types. For list, set and dictionary, we can do that one. For example, if you have a list 1 I am writing, which is equal to I am writing 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So here we have index, you know that one, that is 10 is in 0th position, 21, 32, then 3 and 50 is in the 4th position. So using index you can access the values inside a list. That is, if you are print list 1 of 2, then you will get the output as 30. Here in the second position we have 30. Suppose if you want to write list 1 of 2 equal to, I want to change 30 to some 35. I am changing this 30 to 35. After that, if you print list 1 of 2, then it gives the output 35. So if you print the list 1, then you will get the output as 10, 20, 35, 40 and 50. So here the value is changed. 30 is changed to 35. So this is possible in list. Once the variables are created, its value can be changed. That is possible with list, set and dictionary. So now you know how a value is assigned to a variable and how it is represented in the memory. Now the next topic is dynamic typing. So we say Python is a dynamic typed programming language. So what does it mean, dynamic typing? So the dynamic typing means the type of the variable is determined at the time of running. That is during the runtime, that is while executing the program, that time only the type of the variable will be identified or it will be given that time. Suppose in other programming languages like C, C++, Java and all, if you are writing a variable, you must declare it first. For example, like int a equal to 30. Like this you have to declare it. That is the value of 30 we are assigning to a, but before that a is of type integer. That must be given. Okay, that is, this statement can be written like int a, then a equal to 30. This is possible. But in Python we write like this, a equal to 25. That is, the value 25 we are assigning to a, and that time only we are identifying a is of type integer. Right. So while executing the program, Python program, while running the Python program, it identifies a is of type integer because it has a value integer. After that you can change that also. That is, here if you print the value of a, it prints the value 25. After that you can write a equal to coding. So here using the same variable here. But here you are assigning a string to the same variable. So that is possible in Python. So in Python we follow dynamic typing. So it doesn't require a declaration of variables at the time of writing the source code. It will be identified at the time of running. So that is dynamic typing, and Python is a dynamic typed programming language. So the next topic is type conversion. So from name itself you can understand that it is conversion of data type. Right. So you studied the data type. So converting one data type to another data type. What does it mean? That is, type conversion means conversion of a data type to another data type. We are declaring a variable with one data type, and while writing the program, that is, you are writing some 10 or hundreds of lines of code. So in between, sometimes you declared a variable as an integer, or you are doing an integer operation, but you need to change that one to another data type like float. Something like that if you want to do based on the requirement of the program, then there happens type conversion. So in Python we have two types of type conversion, implicit and explicit type conversion. So implicit. So what is implicit type conversion? Yeah, interpreter understands and it converts one data type to another data type. So without the knowledge of programmer or without the knowledge of the user, this interpreter converts one data type to another data type. Next we have explicit type conversion. So this is a forced one, explicit. Programmer is forcing the interpreter to convert one data type to another data type. So that is explicit. So let's see in detail what is implicit and explicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion, also known as coercion. So here this is automatically done by the Python interpreter without the knowledge of programmer. Okay. So in some cases, let's see an example. Here I have written A equal to 20 and B equal to 30.5. So A is of type integer and B is of type float. And after that I have written the statement sum is equal to A plus B. That means we are adding these two values. That is 20 and 30.5 we are adding. So 20 is an integer and another one is float. 30.5 is float. So we are adding this one and we are printing the value sum. Print sum. So here it prints 50.5. Here you know type function. Type function is to find out the data type of a variable. So type sum. So when we check this one, it prints the type of the variable as float. Sum is of type float. This is automatically done by the interpreter. That is, it is assigning to a higher or the wider data type. Float is wider compared to integer because float has decimal points, right? So when you are adding sum is equal to A plus B, here B is of type float. So the result automatically converted to its wider data type float. Okay, so that is implicit type conversion. Here programmers are not doing anything. Automatically Python is doing this one. So while doing an integer and float operation, the result should be stored in a memory place, right? So if it is integer place, then if there is any decimal value, that decimal value cannot be stored. That's why it is taking a wider data type. That is, float is using more memory space, so the result also will be float because the result should be accurate. And this is also known as type promotion. So that is our implicit type conversion. And one more thing, see, there are some compatible data types. That is, int to float is possible because both are number, and complex also possible, and bool also possible. But float to string, both are different data types, right? String is characters and float is number, so that is not possible. It is incompatible. So that type conversion is not possible. Only compatible data type conversions are possible. So explicit type conversion, this is also known as typecasting. For implicit I told you coercion. So here programmer is specifying in the program to convert a data type to another data type. See, for implicit, every time the conversion takes place from the smallest data type to the largest one, wider data type. Here, if you want to give to a smaller one, that is a float to integer conversion, then we can go for explicit type conversion. This is programmer purposely doing in the program. So let's see an example. Here x is equal to 10.2 I am writing, y is equal to 20.5. So these two are floating type values. Then we are adding z is equal to x plus y. Obviously it is a floating type value answer, right? 10.2 plus 20.5, you will get the answer 30.7. So z is float actually. Here if you print z, it will print the value 30.7. After that I have written p equal to, here I have written int, then in bracket I have written set. So here int means z is of type floating type, that should be converted to integer, then the value will be assigned to p. So set has the value 30.7, it is a float type value, that will be converted to integer. That means that decimal part, after decimal point any values are there, that will be removed. or it will be truncated. So the answer will be 30 and that 30 will be assigned to P. So when we print the value P, it prints as 30. Okay, here actually Z is a float which is converted to integer by writing the statement. This is actually purposely we are writing. Sometimes in the program we may have to write that. So that time programmers are writing the statement like this. So the syntax for writing an explicit type conversion is like this. That is, first you have to write the data type. That is, the variable should be converted to that data type. Then in the bracket, in the parenthesis, you have to specify which variable should be converted. So here Z is of type float, but here it is converted and the value is assigned to P. So you may be thinking, what is the data type of Z? See, after this one, if you write type of Z, it prints float only. Here actually Z is not directly converting to integer. After this operation, Z will not be integer, it is float only, but for this particular operation, Z is converted to integer and that integer value will be assigned to P, but P will be integer always. So that is explicit type conversion. So most of the time we write this explicit type conversion from a larger or the wider data type to the lower one. So this is actually narrowing. Implicit type conversion is widening and explicit type conversion is narrowing. So we covered the fundamentals of Python, that is the basic things about Python we covered. That is, we studied installation, the features of Python, tokens in Python, input and output functions and the different data types available in Python. So now you are ready to do the programs in Python. So I want to tell you something. Do as many programs as you can, then you will become an expert Python programmer. Okay, so we are going to do some programs in Python that we are going to discuss in the next video. So please don't miss it. So hope you understood this session. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to comment. If you feel my videos are useful, then please do subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button so that you will not miss the later sessions of Python. Thank you for watching.